Hello and welcome to Class Clown series. In this episode, first you will see a strong sample answer based on the latest Cambridge book, and then an important note at the end. Let's go! Okay, Ella, first question. What did you study in history lessons when you were at school?
Oh, that was a long time ago, so I don't even know if I can remember. But I remember studying about racism a little bit in high school. But I was not very good at history, so I really don't remember much.
It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
No worries. Did you enjoy studying history at school?
Well, obviously no.
Okay. I guess you don't remember anything, right?
Especially names and dates and all of that, it just went over my head. So I would just memorize facts and, whatever names before the test. And I wasn't a bad student, but no, I did not enjoy it at all.
Okay. How often do you watch TV programs about history now?
Never. I'm definitely, as we can see, I'm not a history person. So yeah, I'm not really that interested. Sometimes I like books that are historical fiction, maybe, but just history books. I know you asked me about TV, but no, I don't think I'm that interested.
Okay. And final question in part one. What period in history would you like to learn more about?
Well, I think I would like to learn more about the 50s and 60s, but mostly because I like jazz and I like jazz from that era.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
So when I was about 9 or 10 years old, we moved to a small town. I guess it was considered a suburb at the time. I'm not sure, but it was a little bit removed from the city, but it was in the city. And everybody told my mom at the time that she was crazy. They said, that is such a dangerous place. Don't move there. You're going to get robbed and all of this. And it was honestly, it was the opposite of that. It was super safe. It was a small town life, so everybody knew each other. It was families that had been living there for, many generations, kind of more of a country lifestyle, if you will. So there were horses on the street. There was somebody that would sell fresh cow milk on the street, and my mom would buy it sometimes, and she would have to boil it because it's not safe to drink it otherwise. And yeah, I always played outside in the park, and I don't know, it was super cute. It was like a mix. It was in the city, but it had a bit of this country flair to it. So it was definitely a really nice place to be as a child.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. What sort of things can neighbors do to help each other?
Neighbors can, I think babysitting is a big thing. I remember, when I was a kid, I would spend a lot of time with my neighbor. She was an older woman and she was single, and she was so sweet. I would go and she would make clothes for my dolls and feed me, and we would play with her dog. So I have really nice memories of spending time with this neighbor, and I think that's a really nice way to, make children also feel like they have, I don't know if it's extended family, but they have a support system beyond just their family at home.
I see. How well do people generally know their neighbors in your country?
I think it really depends where you live. So right now I live in Toronto, and it's a big city, and I have neighbors, we've been living in the same building for years, and I don't think we even say hi to each other. So I think it depends where you live. You could still live in Toronto, but maybe it's on your street, neighbors are friendlier, or even in your building. So kind of, I don't know, but yeah, it really depends where.
I understand. How important do you think it is to have good neighbors?
Oh, it's very important. If you have bad neighbors, it can be a nightmare. You can fight, and everything is a big problem. You get in each other's nerves, and when you're home, you just want to relax and have a good time. And having good neighbors makes all the difference. Even if you're not best friends and you don't hang out, but just knowing that you respect each other. And if there is a problem, you can just, talk about it and you won't be fighting. I think it makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about facilities in cities. Which facilities are most important to people living in cities?
Okay. So, community center, would that count?
Yeah,
okay.
That would be perfect.
I think community centers are really, really important. I used to, when I was young, especially for young people, maybe adults, not so much, or maybe, but when I was young, I went to our community center a lot, and I took lessons there, and I made friends, and it's just a really great way to keep kids busy and, off the streets and doing weird stuff or whatever. So I think that would be the most important facility.
Great. How does shopping in small local shops differ from shopping in large city centers?
Small local shops, I think they're always fun because you find things that you just can't find anywhere else. Or maybe you could, but not that easily. So you can find some really unique, quirky stuff. And, depends how local it is. These might be local products. So it's also a nice way to support small businesses or individuals who are, working from home or whatever it is that they're selling. So it just makes it a little bit more special to know, where this came from, or also just to feel, it's not being shipped from I don't know where, or I don't know who made this.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ella. This is your final question. Do you think that children should always go to the school nearest to where they live?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's a big thing here in Canada. Well, when I say a big thing, I think you have to go somewhere in your district. But when we lived abroad for a few years and I was a child, I lived pretty far from my school. And to me, I loved my schools. And to me, that was the most important thing. I didn't care if I had to commute and if we had to, ride the bus for an hour or whatever it took to get there. Being at a school that you like is the most important thing.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That's the end of your IELTS speaking test.
Yay, thank you.
All right. We hope you learned a thing or two from this sample answer by teacher Ella. As you might know, Cambridge books usually include 4 speaking tests, so we found it fitting to talk about the 4 components of the IELTS speaking test in each of these videos. The first one on the list is the grammatical range and accuracy of your speech, which means not only you're expected to speak correctly, but you're also encouraged to use a wide variety of grammatical structures. We're obviously not recommending that you should use all 12 tenses in the English language to achieve a high score, because that would be unnatural and in most cases impossible. But remember that conditional sentences, the passive voice, and compound or complex sentences are your friends. Avoid using the present simple tense throughout your speaking test, for example, and make sure your responses are colorful and varied grammatically. Watch the other 3 episodes on Cambridge 17 for the complete lesson. Best of luck to you in your exam, and happy learning!